Roadkill Extra appears every single weekday at Motor Trend On Demand. It's a show that gives you question and answer sessions, deeper looks into our project vehicles, behind the scenes stuff, and here's a sample right now of one of the shows that you missed last week on MotorTrendOnDemand.com. You can watch them all with a 30-day free trial. Dump trucks, we're bringing them back. Okay, so far on Roadkill Extra, you've seen one where Alana talked all about the Ford dump truck they have in their backyard. Then you saw another one where Dulcich was all proud of his Ford, and I think he's also got a bunch of Dodges. But this is the Chevy dump truck. We're in Colorado right now shooting an episode of Roadkill Garage where we bought a Wagoneer from a fan named Joey Chamberlain, and this is his place, and he has this dump truck, and I'm gonna tell you all about it because there's a lot of cool stuff with these. First of all, this is a 1969 Chevy C50, and it's the shorty. It's the 125-inch wheelbase model, which makes it really cute. I think it's super zoomy, and it's got neat stuff like 5 lug wheels on the front and 10 lug wheels in the back, which is just double the same bolt pattern. But here's the thing that you should think about when you're going, why would anybody care about a dump truck? You don't really hot rod dump trucks, with the exception, of course, of Stubby Bob, our wheel standing Ford. But think this through if you are either looking for parts or you're building a 4x4. First of all, check it out how this 69 Chevy shares the cab with a regular 69 Chevy pickup. But look at the front clip. From here to here, basically from the fender forward, this thing is stubby. Glance over there at that 69 or 70 Chevy truck and you can see that it's got a much longer front clip. That's your regular old, standard civilian model. Whereas this one is super stubby. And I've always thought that that would be really cool to use for a 4x4 project because you can see over the hood so much more easily. The other thing is, looking at these heavy duty trucks, whether it's a Chevy, a Ford, or a Dodge, many of them have a significantly flared front fender on them. I, in fact, used this trick on my 65 F250 because it has a bigger wheel well opening so you can fit bigger tires on it. And if you look at this in profile right here, you could see that if you were going to build a custom 4x4, you could trim this thing like here and here and set the thing on a custom frame, and you'd have a whole lot more fender opening than you otherwise would. So when you see these things in junkyards, start to get creative about the things that you can do with them. Here's the other thing that is pretty cool about this truck. Look at this badge. This could freak you Chevy guys out, even if you haven't heard of this. So C50 with an 8-cylinder 366. Have you ever heard of a 366 Chevy before? A lot of people have not. Let's pop the hood, if I can, and see what that is. So have a look in here. This is a big block Chevy, but you're used to thinking of them as a 396, which you would have found in muscle cars and things like that. But no, this is a 366. It was only used in medium and heavy duty trucks. It has a taller deck height than a regular Chevy big block. A standard 454 has a 9/800 or 9.8 inch deck height. This thing has a 10.2 inch deck height. Now the reason that they made that taller is kind of interesting. The crankshaft in this thing is 3.76 inch stroke. It's the same as a 396. The bore has been reduced like crazy. I think it's 3,935. It's small, tiny for a big block. And that's how it adds up to 366 cubic inches. But they made the block taller because it uses the same 6.135 inch connecting rod as a regular old 396 or 454, but the piston has 4 rings on it. And so the piston is physically taller, and so they made the block taller in order to fit the bigger piston for the sort of industrial use or commercial use engines. And they also made 427s in this same configuration for commercial type stuff, a tall deck 427. Now, People think that because it's a tall deck, oh, it's cool, I can make bigger cubes or anything like that, because if you look at aftermarket blocks like a Dart block or something like that, they sell the taller deck height. But those things are designed for huge bores. They usually have a 400 or 500 bore. This thing is tiny. This doesn't even have Siamese bores in it. Neither does the tall deck 427 truck motor. So if you run across one of these and you're thinking you can build something really trick out of it, you kind of can't. I mean, you can put a regular old stroker crank in it, you can make them big and everything, but with the extra deck height, all you're really getting is more weight, a wider intake manifold, and more aggravation. Unless, of course, you're going to something with a really long connecting rod and a really long stroke, in which case, yes, you want a taller deck, but you don't want the OE block because you can't get a big bore in it. So that's kind of the story on this truck. Some interesting little factoids, and I want to take it home. That's it for this Roadkill Extra, coming to you from Colorado. Stay tuned for the episode that we got coming with this Wagoneer. It's going to be really cool. If you need more Roadkill Extra, go sign up for the 30-day free trial right now.